Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And tonight we will be discussing the surreal sci-fi fantasy underrated classic from underrated director Satoshi Kon called Paprika. And joined with me is my regular co-host, Inside Man Retropolis. How are you, Retropolis? Now, how are you doing, man?
I'm very
Oh,
well, thank you. Yeah, made it by the skin of my teeth.
yeah, I know, and I saw it. It's been a busy day. I've kind of been a little bit late letting people in. So, Frandad has got some things to sort out in his personal life, so we're going to let him do that. And Critical is away on a concert right now, but hopefully, if he does get back early, he can still join us. The link is still there.
Yep.
And tonight's guest, Stupenzo, who recommended we talk about this film. How you doing, man?
Good. I was the one who watched talked about Perfect Blue with you a while back. That was a good long
Yeah,
stream.
and it's done by the same director as
Oh
well.
yeah. Every movie this guy's made is A tier, God tier director. And when you say he's underrated, it's basically like he should be everyone's like top 4 or 5 directors of all time. But it's either you either know about Satoshi Kon and you love all of his movies, or you just don't know. You don't realize, You don't realize how many Hollywood movie directors have borrowed directly from him, especially this movie in particular.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah. Christopher Nolan, Inception.
yeah,
But I do like Inception. I think it's still a fucking cool film. I think the characters in Paprika are a little bit better, in my opinion, a little bit more interesting. And because when you kind of watch Inception, some of them are kind of exposition dumps in a way, aren't they? I mean, Tom Hardy
yeah.
has a bit of personality, and Cillian Murphy has a bit of personality. Leo DiCaprio has his character arc, but a lot of the dialogue is very exposition, and
It's
they don't almost stop
utilitarian,
it. Yeah,
utilitarian dialogue that is used to move the plot forward. Paprika is great because it's the 80-20 split. It's like 80% is like up to your interpretation as to what's going on. Inception's basically the very last scene is up to your interpretation. Is he dreaming? Is he not? And there is a definitive answer to that. With this, there's no real definitive answers. What's this about? I've heard people talk about how this movie's about, living your life in movies and the internet and how that's unhealthy for you. I've heard that this movie is about the progress of technology and disastrous effects it could have on people. This movie is also about what else?
yeah, it could be
Just
about like how you
your
ignore real life because you're so into the
yeah,
dream, and
your
yeah,
own
I've
your
watched a
own
few.
personal dreams and ambitions getting the best of you, or not living up to those expectations. This movie's got a lot going for it, even though it's a pretty lighthearted, fun anime. But yeah, I remember when this movie was coming out, I was already a big fan of Perfect Blue, and I remember just thinking there was this. They had the best slogan ever. It was showing you the commercial, right? And the trailer's obviously showing you all this crazy crap, and the crazy music's playing. The soundtrack to this movie is insane. And I remember just said, "This is your brain on anime," and you're like, "Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
because
sold."
the soundtrack is like this. It's like this. It's like all these inconsistent notes just mashing together. Especially when you come to the scene where all the dreams are all colliding and
Yeah,
they're turning into this big parade.
it
So yeah,
sounds like music you'd hear in a dream,
Lead
Who's you know
Key,
who's
Lead
who scored
Key.
it?
Thanks for joining us. And yeah, when was the first time you came by this? Then Inside Man.
It was actually back in the day. It's sort of not long after its release, and always kind of been intrigued by this kind of movie. And again, exactly as Stupenzo said, when it came out, we were trying to put forward our own versions of what we thought it was about, and nobody agreed. But I like that. We can't all be right, but we certainly can all be wrong. It may be about something completely different, but I like that. That's a movie that's that ambiguous that it leaves the individual viewer up to their own kind of imagination, and you go through your own thought processes when you're watching this. It's very much a personal movie for anybody who watches it.
Yeah.
It's a very individual movie.
Even the literal plot, like I know we're talking right now about the themes and the metaphors, which I love talking about, but even the literal plot is like, what the hell's going on? It doesn't tell you everything about what exactly is going on. It's kind of like Ghost in the Shell or some of these other like a lot of these sci-fi movies. Sometimes they give you too much. They want to hold your hand, make sure you understand. Ghost in the Shell specifically does not do that. They literally have a glossary involved in the Ghost in the Shell special features, so you can know what the hell they're talking about with all these like terms and words you've never heard of. This movie doesn't really hold your hand either in terms of how this technology works, or it's kind of a mystery movie, and it doesn't do this big explanation of what actually happened, even though it doesn't really leave anything open really. It just doesn't explicitly say everything that's going on. It kind of expects you to kind of fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah.
Like a good detective movie,
Yes,
which is what this is.
Yeah,
because you're trying to find out what the hell is happening. I mean, there's even some moments when you're like, what the fuck is happening? But you're still having fun. And hello, Bush. How you doing, man?
Oh yeah, and the animation is just so next level. This is Satoshi Kon's last movie, and it's funny because I saw this before I saw Tokyo Godfathers and Millennium Actress.
Tokyo Godfathers is very much a straightforward movie when you think about it. It's not.
I think that one is my favorite of his, and it's definitely my favorite Christmas movie. And I would like to talk about that around Christmas.
I think if you're going to introduce someone to Satoshi Kon, I think Tokyo Godfathers is the best one for that first.
Now,
then
see,
the way Paprika, then Perfect Blue, because Perfect Blue is more of a man fucky.
Yeah, Perfect Blue is a great introduction to it because it makes you want to watch more from the guy, and then I watched Paprika next, which is like mind blowing, and then I went down to Tokyo Godfathers, which is very literal film and very moving movie, and then I watched Millennium Actress last, which was much more soap opera ish, and that one's a wild trip. But yeah, but all of his movies are about living like double lives. Like Perfect Blue is your private life versus your public life. This movie is your dream world versus your real world. Millennium Actress is like off screen versus on screen. Is this a cooking movie or something? There is a movie from 1991 called Paprika that I think might be about a hot lady who cooks. I don't know.
Yeah, I did see that on YouTube because I was looking to see if YouTube might have this for free, but no, it was the 1991 movie.
Yeah. But yeah, Paprika, man, that's one of those spices where like the more you use in it, like you can't use too much, like there's this garlic soup I make, and like the more garlic and the more paprika you use, just the better it gets. And it's like I'm at the point where I like triple or quadruple the recommended amounts, and it's still good. It's still delicious. It gets more delicious. There's never too much.
Yeah, it's like overindulgence. It's like the dream as well. You're letting it consume when you really should be cutting it down and going into something healthy.
Yeah,
and it does start off very well. I mean, it starts off with this clown coming out, and he has this fucking girly voice for some reason, and then it starts off like a straightforward like spat.
Are you supposed to be sharing your screen right now, or no?
Oh yeah. Let me see.
Okay.
I thought I did.
Okay. But yeah, the movie just starts with like a clown car, little tiny toy car, and then a clown coming out of it, which I think is way better trick than like the 10 guys coming out of the normal size car. 20 people coming out of the normal size car is fun, but oh yeah. And like just right out the gate, like the first thing you see, I just love this illustration style. And something notice.
It looks like something out of a kid's book, doesn't it? In a way.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I've heard this movie described as Philip K. Dick meets Hello Kitty. And I was like, dude, that is totally spot on.
Yeah.
To be honest, despite a couple of blood splats when someone gets shot, or a bit of nudity and that little heavy scene with Morio Osana, it could still be, because I think it is kind of kid friendly. It's
it is rated R, and I like when movies are rated R, but they shouldn't be. Like The Frighteners is a good example. Like that could have totally been PG-13, but I like that they're just like they're like, no, I mean this movie is not necessarily violent or gratuitous, but it's still for mature audiences,
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of movie that a little kid's gonna watch it, not understand a damn thing that's going on. I don't know. I think this is one of those movies that's best saved for your teenage years.
Yeah, maybe older kids. I think
Yeah.
maybe this could be a PG-13 because when you're that age, you kind of can handle the more adult stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's not really like adult themes or anything. It's more like just concepts that are hard to grasp for a young mind. I just don't want kids talking and fidgeting around in the movie theater. This is a movie for grown-ups. I don't. Like Terrifier 3. Kids can go see that movie because it literally isn't boring. You watch The Joker 2, the fucking kids start running around the theater acting like idiots and falling asleep and crying because it's nothing happening. Even though I like Joker 2.
Yeah. But I do love this character as well. I mean, he actually does come across as a fucking cool action man, and
Yeah.
this is where you really are wondering what the hell is happening because he's acting like it's just like a spy thriller as well. Like my man's over there, we need to make a move soon and not lose him. But then he ends up in the fucking cage. He gets caught out and by the ringmaster, and he's in the cage and he's swarmed by all these people that look like him, and then he falls
this
through.
movie,
And
we're like a minute. We're almost we're like 2 minutes into the movie, and already immediately it just like. This is like it's like living up to the hype that the trailers were telling you there'd be. This movie's going to be a wild movie about dreams. But yeah,
I know. And this is the character. Pronounce his name.
Starts with a K. Yeah, Katakawa. Us and Japanese names. Excuse us, but here's what's great about the opening 10 minutes. Or is it 5 minutes? I don't know. This whole dream sequence.
Yeah,
one of the things.
Not even 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes.
One of the best things about Satoshi Kon, why he's so great, is his transition, like scene edits. Like matching scene edits, they're called. Yeah. When you have one, like you'll see, like for instance, what's going to happen right now is he's going to grab her hands in the circus. And as he swings down, he is now swinging down on a different vine as Tarzan.
Yeah.
They do another cut right after this where he's gonna he's now getting choked.
And it's like somehow a spy thriller, and then
the rope, the Tarzan rope wraps around his neck, and then it cuts to a external shot. Now he's fighting off someone, choking him in a train, and then she hits him on the head with a suitcase, and it transitions to her hitting him with a guitar, and another scene in a romance movie. These are like 4 different movies like playing, in front of our eyes.
It literally is just match cut after match cut after match cut after match cut. It's amazing.
This match cut uses like 8 times in the movie.
Scene where it's looking like he's got a tragic past story coming up, and then you find out later it's a little bit more innocent, and it's just a little bit kind of charming as well. But yeah, it seems real dark. It seems very haunting. This guy's dying, and the culprit is getting away, and he's hesitating, but then he falls. Then the room starts melting. He falls through the floor, and this is when we realize he's in the dream. He was dreaming.
Yeah, this is what this is what's called the opening scene. And a lot of movies, especially like older movies, the opening scene is boring. This is how you open a movie. Like this is how you start a movie where everyone's like all of a sudden hyped. 5 minutes in, we're like, okay, I'm here for the long run now. I'm
and we're introduced to how this is working as well. It's these little devices you put on your head, and this is still something that's very new, and this is first time. You can even watch it on the computer.
You put the DC Mini on someone's dreams, and you can record their dreams. It's a pretty simple device for what it does, and the idea of what it's for is therapy. And this detective, he is, kind of struggling with this, his dreams, his personal life because of this case he's trying to solve. And the dreams, help him interpret and understand what he's kind of going through psychologically, mentally. And
it comes top secret as well.
Yeah, top secret invention.
It's like little hints, isn't it? You kind of like wondering, why has his friend betrayed him when he said that he never would do such a thing? It's it's like little bits as well, giving this character some kind of some layers.
Yeah,
and you instantly like this guy. As soon as I saw this guy and talk about his struggles with his job and how he's using it to try and help him find the culprit he claims to be after. You want this guy, and Paprika's already very fucking charming. She's got a very innocent look to her, but at the same time, you can tell she's someone who has a strength to her. And you do not realize that she's kind of this very serious agent who's putting on this persona just to help her clients.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, she kind of goes over the fact that he's like, you know, he dreams about movies. He's vocally says that he doesn't like movies. But you know, his dreams say otherwise. And this movie is definitely a movie about movies as well as the internet. One of the big themes is like spending too much time in the dream world is bad for you. Spending too much time online is bad for you. Spending too much time living in, you know, the fantasy of movies is bad for you, or it's not ideal. The point is you got to live in the real world a lot, you know. It's good for you. And it's bad when, like, you know, the dream world, quote unquote, whether it's your internet life or your obsession with movies or books or whatever, it can absorb and take over your real life and your actual responsibilities and things you should be doing in reality.
Yeah, I mean, never has a film been more prophetic than this one.
Oh yeah,
I know.
I mean, this movie came out in 2006. It takes place in the year 2012, which is cool.
Mm.
So
always kind of a reflection on being a celebrity and having your private life, but just be out there for the whole world to see. I mean, that was like what, back in 1996, was it?
Yeah, Perfect Blue. Yeah. And this one, you know, like the other thing about the themes of like your life, just living in God, sorry, I'm like watching the opening credits right now, and it's just unbelievable scene transitions again. Yeah, I don't know. Paprika, she's basically like some kind of therapist, and again, they don't really establish like what's going on, if Paprika is in his head or if she's actual flesh and bones.
Yeah,
like,
because when you see the opening credits, she's like she's on these fucking spaceship going around the place. She's like hopping in and out of laptops, going inside a guy's shirt. Or is that just for the opening credits? I don't know. It's
she's literally the manic pixie girl, right? She's I mean, she's not necessarily manic, but she's literally like some kind of fairy type character, a dream fairy, if you will, using a dream machine. But again, the main plot, the literal plot, is this guy's basically getting top secret hush hush experimental therapy, dream therapy, you know.
Yeah, it's not been approved yet, isn't it? You've got a chairman who's not very happy about this as well, but we found out a little bit more about him later as we go on. And yeah, this is when she's giving him his number in case he wants to talk to her again. And
also,
he's
just the logo
Yeah.
type is great. Like, it's one of these movies where like every single thing is thought out and done great. And yeah, this opening credit sequence is amazing. And this is kind of where we allude to the fact that, you know, Paprika is actually this other woman. You know, or like this other woman controls her or uses her as an avatar. I don't even really understand how it's so vague.
Oh god, that makes me feel a bit better because there was something that still confused the fuck out of me.
Yeah, this movie's literally surrealist. Like, it is a surrealist film. This is like some Salvador Dali stuff going on constantly. But yeah, she can every frame is like every transition's that's the beauty of animation. It's why Satoshi Kon chose to work in animation. You can do so much more, so much faster with animation because you can limit how much visual information is in a scene. And I mean, if you could just like, man, I mean, I know these are screenshots, but like, yeah, there's like a guy skating down with something on a picture on his shirt, and Paprika hops into the shirt, and then the shirt envelops the frame, and then we transition into the shirt. And it's just one of the most mind-blowing, awesome scenes. And it's like, it really means nothing. It's just a cool flourish in the opening credits.
Yeah, it's like there's this level of realism that's kind of had logic thrown out a little bit as well amongst it all, because when you get near the end, you're kind of wondering, has the dream bled into reality? How does that fucking work?
I mean, it's purposely, it's supposed to just tell the audience, hey, you know, don't necessarily be taking everything in this film literally. Like, this movie's going to be very out there. The first 8 minutes of the movie we're here, you know.
Yeah, and this is where we are. This is where we start to realize Paprika is the real Paprika. It's Chiba, if I'm pronouncing her name right.
Chiba,
yeah.
RRTNZ says the other Paprika movie's much more enjoyable. I'll have to check that out then, because I love this movie. We
Yeah,
were talking about
Horseman,
that a
thanks for
second ago.
joining us. Lord Toxic, yes, thank you. Yes, a cooking movie of complete fucking insane batshittery. The intro felt like a warm hug, been listening to Meditational Field on repeat. Oh, nice one. RT and Z, yeah, thank you. Paprika with Deborah currently is much more enjoyable. I need to check it out. It's on YouTube for free, so I probably will. Madhouse must have hated Satoshi Kon after this. So. Yeah, I never had a chance to catch this film. I did, however, see the sequel to it. I believe it was called Rosemary.
Nah. What's funny is or not funny, but yeah, this is actually this. I don't know how it worked out like this. It's kind of fate, but yeah, this ended up being Satoshi Kon's last movie. He was working on another movie called Dream Machine,
and it
he
is
passed
kind of
away.
referenced later on in the movie, isn't it? When
Right.
he gets told to go to the movies, and he
Well, the
sees
movie at the end is called Dreaming Kids. Or
yeah.
something. The movie he was actually working on was called Dream Machine, which is the device, the DC Mini. And then also, I mean, I don't assume that that's what it was about, but also the robots that you see in this movie, like on Fat Guy's shirt later, the theme park robots, like those look like the character designs that he was working on for Dream Machine.
Actually,
Whoa.
this might have been a very unofficial sequel to this, then maybe.
I mean, it's one of these things where all of his movies are somewhat, connected, at least thematically. They all have I mean, it's one of those, his filmography, like it sucks that it's done and there's no more, but his filmography as it is just such a like a perfect ensemble of movies.
Yeah, well, yeah, fucking die before you talents become tarnished or burnt out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he didn't get to make more movies because who knows? This is where we meet
Die
Takita.
a hero or live
He's
long
like this
enough to see
really
you become.
fucking obese kid, but he's really fucking smart, but he just can't stop fucking eating. But he has got a good heart, though. You can really tell. He's just he just doesn't always think, even though he is a very smart, intelligent guy.
Well, when
Yeah,
you
so he's
first
basically like
you
a guy
first see
who's
this guy, you feel like just kind of like, wow, what a sad fat piece of shit. But yeah, you find out he's the inventor of the DC Mini, and yeah, he has like this really like he's very a man child in a sense, but because of that, he's very I would say innocent and a little naive and just an all around like good person. And this girl actually, has like some kind of romance with him, which is, when I first saw that, I was like, something for all the weebs, something for all the fat nerds watching at home. You
well,
get
do you
the
think
hot
she
girl.
actually does have a little bit of a thing for him a little bit? I mean, I know she cares for him though, and this is where I found out that the DC Mini device, the main one, has been stolen, and that there's some dream terrorist out there who could use it for very very bad deeds.
Yeah, that's what the fat guy says. He's like, I'm in a bind, and it's not because I'm stuck in the elevator. It's because I need to talk to you about something. And yeah, one of the DC minis has been stolen, and immediately they assume it's someone internal, someone from the company.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very logical. I mean, because it's still a very top secret machine that really should not be well known yet, and they're still trying to get approval from the chairman, who's very, very skeptical about the whole thing.
He
Is
doesn't like it.
you make science, but you don't think about the consequences and blah blah blah.
And I guess if you were an actual mystery movie aficionado, this is one of those movies where it's very obvious. It's like Watchmen. It's very obvious who the fucking bad guy is, or who the bad guy will be. You don't even need to watch anything in the movie to tell you. You just meet the characters one by one, and you're like, okay, well, clearly it's this guy, right? So it doesn't matter though, because it makes up for it with all the other complexities going on in the plot.
I know, and this kind of does explain why Taquito doesn't really think too much. He's very smart, but he doesn't think. He's like, oh, it was stolen. We'll just make another one. It's like, no, don't you realize if this is stolen, bad things could happen. This could ruin us. We could have opened Pandora's box here, with this thing being made.
Yeah, the doorway to our collective dreams has been stolen, and spoilers because of it. Yeah, our collective dreams spill out into the real world because of it somehow. It's amazing.
And it does kind of show that Chiba is the moral backbone here. She's she is trying to do the right thing with this machine. She does generally want to help people, but she is trying to think of the consequences and the ramifications. She is kind of
Yeah.
altruistic, but she's a bit serious as well.
And her like dream world alter ego is Paprika. We kind of learned that quickly, but she's very different from Paprika. You know, this
Exactly.
girl,
She's really serious, while Paprika is a little bit more bubbly and optimistic.
yeah, and she's also very different from Fat Guy Takeda, because yeah, he's like I said, I think it's one of those things where opposites attract. Maybe
Yeah, and I do like this guy. He's kind of a smart idiot, but he cracks me up. You just want to hang out with this guy a little
he's
bit,
like
though. As long as he don't fucking eat anyway.
yeah, you think of like an Elon Musk type character where it's like you love him or hate him. Like you got to admit, he's this guy would be smarter than Elon Musk. This is one of those things where you're like, yeah, he's a fat kind of retard, but Jesus Christ, I mean, he made a dream machine. He can't be totally stupid. And
Yeah,
also we see later in the movie that he's very, very crafty and intuitive.
Yeah, and we've got Shima here as well. We're introduced to him, and he's kind of like the old man of the group, and he's like he kind of wants the same thing as well, and he's a little bit more wise and inexperienced, but yeah, he's basically a typical old mentor in a way, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the typical the grizzled coach, the experienced guy. He's technically the
Yeah, he comes across like
chief
Q
of department.
Yeah, he comes across like Q in the James Bond movies a little bit, and maybe a little bit more quirky and eccentric.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely would like a Danny DeVito type character playing this guy if you wanted.
Yeah, he would be fucking good.
Very tiny old man.
Yeah, Horseman. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Jamalama, thanks for joining us as well. Big old Chungus here landed the girl of his dreams. What's your excuse?
Yeah. Yeah, this is part. I mean, this scene, the nonsensical dialogue he starts spitting out.
Yeah, I know, it just comes out of nowhere.
You meet the chairman. Yeah, the chairman shows up, and he's basically the old crotchety man who hates the technology, hates the device. He's kind of like the guy they have to tiptoe around. They're talking about how they got to solve this mystery of who stole the DC Mini before he even finds out. And they go into the office. Of course, he's waiting for them.
He's already trying to make Paprika look like the bad guy here, even though that's not the case. And and he's like, I think we shouldn't be looking for Paprika's bikini. And then it's like, yeah, what? Why did he fucking say that for? That's a bit weird. And then you realize he's kind of being fucking manipulated here.
Yeah. So I mean, this is another one of these great scenes where, out of nowhere, it's like, hey, please, we'll solve this mystery. You don't need to stop the project. And out of nowhere, what does he start talking about? I mean, let me see if I can recite some of his dialogue that he uses when he goes on his tirade. Let me just skip to the actual part of the movie here. Let's see.
Yeah, so let's get to the bit where it's controlled now, and we have kind of found out like it's not totally complete as well. It's like it's still kind of working in certain phases, and and if it was complete, they could still probably use this on people who are asleep or dreaming. And yeah, that's crazy, man. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah, so he actually accuses them of using the dream machine for unapproved treatments, which is true. And both this woman and the doctor know about this because they're behind these secret experimental psychology sessions they're doing with like that detective, for instance. And what does he start saying? He says discipline calls for a search of the DC Mini rather than Paprika's bikini.
Yeah, no, it's like what?
And it's like what? And then he says this is true happiness and discipline. He's like, even the 5 court ladies danced in sync to the frogs' flutes and drums. The whirlwind of recycled paper was a sight to see. He just starts like talking about nonsense. And everyone's like listening to him doing this insane tirade. Then he jumps out a window.
And I was like, what the hell, man?
And you're like, what? And then you realize like it has something to do with the DC Mini being stolen. And this is when the chairman. It's funny because he's literally in a chair. The chairman basically, has reason now to want to ban use of the device. It is officially declared dangerous now. And we actually see first he jumps out the window, and then we see this crazy parade that you're seeing, and it's one of the most insane animated things ever. They definitely use computer animation to help with this, but you've got, again, it's about, more technology bleeding into the real world. You've got everything from tanks to refrigerators to television head people to dinosaurs and frogs and just all this crazy crap, and it's all animated individually in its own rhythm, and everything has its own movement. Dude, it's crazy sight to behold.
I know, because I was a little bit confused. I was like, wait, are they still in some kind of dream here? But then it's like, no, this could be the real world. It's just like, he's just has his mind control. And it turns out he survived the fall. He's like, he survived the fall. I mean, you see his caught on the fucking tree. So,
but that's how we tell the audience that what happened. First, we see him jump out the window. Then we see the crazy dream. We don't know what it is. And we see them looking at the dream in monitors. And then we see the guys in the hospital bed. And you're like, okay, I see. I'm understanding what's happening.
Yeah, and this is where we meet Osane, if I'm pronouncing his name. Fucking hell, his Japanese names. I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
I know. Doctor, young Osana, doctor guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's kind of like one of the agents with them, as well as a researcher. He's one of the colleague, and and we found out a little bit later that he's not all who he seems. But this is when we also found out about someone called Himuro, who's a friend of Takita, and he seems really concerned. He seems confused. Why is Himuro doing this? I mean,
Himuro is in the dream that has taken over Dr. Takata, or whatever his name is, Takanada. I don't know. Yeah, old guy doctor. I'm not going to be going to Wikipedia and looking up everyone's
times, and I was worried about getting the names wrong here.
Dude, they're Japanese names. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. I hate to be insensitive, but they all sound like gibberish to me. I just know the letters they start with.
So now we've got to try and find this Himuro as well, and we do get a bit of backstory. He's just this apparently, according to him, is a guy who always disappears because when he gets into something, you don't hear from him, and apparently Himuro was like an assistant to Takito as well back in the day, and he claims that he thinks he might be doing it because he's jealous of him.
Yeah. He's obviously a red herring because we didn't get to meet the character before he's introduced as like a possible suspect, and it's also like very obvious that he's involved because he's in the dream. They're literally driving to his house to see what's going on. But regardless, I mean, this scene right here, and here's something else that's great about this movie is like all the stuff in the real world is colored kind of, kind of tonally like desaturated, kind of more ambiguous colors, less intense coloring. And then whenever we're in the dream world, the colors are extremely bright and vivid and intense. And this is a good cue right here to see, when we go from seamlessly from the real world to the dream world, which is what happens here.
Yeah, and this is I think it's kind of like in Nightmare on Elm Street where you think they're awake, but then it turns out they're dreaming, because when you're in the dream, it's everything just makes sense anyway, no matter how much it doesn't make sense. That's kind of the thing. You fall for every single weird surrealism that goes on. You just you end up automatically rolling with it. I mean, only very rarely have I ever been in the dream and then suddenly been aware that I'm dreaming.
Yeah, Dr. Chiba right now is about to kind of witness or experience what happened to old guy Dr. Takita. No, Shima, Dr. Shima. God damn it. Yeah, and basically like right here, we kind of see this weird effect that like only the audience sees with the picture kind of moving. And then there's like a little creepy doll in the closet.
Yeah, I thought, because he's like, he's got nails in it, so he must have had some shit against Takito as well.
Foreshadowing right there, like crazy. Yeah. And the second she opens this closet door to investigate, like she's in a dream. Like it just like happens that quickly. And we don't know this obviously right now watching it, but don't go in there. She's dangerous. This is where another hint where you were seeing her alter ego. But yeah, she opens the closet, looks through the clothes. There's like a trap door with a ladder, and she goes down
the butterfly as well, because that's another hint that's to come as well. Watching it like 3 times, I did notice a few little hints there, and there probably is hints on that wall right there. That's foreshadowing.
See, these are the characters that kind of were designed for Satoshi Kon's next movie, Dream Machine. And
Yeah,
same thing with the
man.
robots outside this place. So that's very weird.
I'm actually surprised that some guy who was a dear friend to Satoshi Kon didn't try and complete it for him. I mean, I know he probably wouldn't have done the exact kind of quality that Kon would have done, but it would have been at least a decent effort.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Japanese they are very particular about what they do, aren't they? When it comes to animation and films and whatnot, it's they obviously don't want people dishonoring the work of someone who was very well known or well loved or who
Well,
had
it's
made
like
something.
when Stanley Kubrick asked Steven Spielberg to make AI for him. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Steven Spielberg was obviously trying to emulate Stanley Kubrick just for his friend because Stanley Kubrick was going to make that film, but then he fucking died, and the only person Stanley Kubrick wanted to do that film in the first place was Steven Spielberg. He thought Spielberg would make it a bit more accessible to the audiences, but Spielberg was like, "No, no, no! It will not have that avant-garde quality that you always have if I direct it." It's and yeah, I kind of do have some respect for Spielberg here a little bit though with AI, even though I don't like that movie.
I like that movie.
I tried to once. I mean, it's all right in places, but yeah, I am a little bit. I have lessened. I do light it off a little bit though, because I know Spielberg was trying to do something for his friends. So.
Right. The thing about this one, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to imagine someone else directing and make. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, she finds herself in some weird carnival, and obviously this is obvious. We're suspecting she's in a dream, and there's again
because
this
that's
little
when
doll.
things go well. Yeah, it's like
This is also
she's
one of
doing
those
this.
badass moments. Again, more Dream Machine characters. Yeah, she's going for the little doll on the stairs, and she hops over the railing, and then
It's like,
seamlessly it turns. She realizes she's being tricked into hopping over the balcony railing of the room she was just in. It's one of
and he's
those.
kind of pass it off like it's some kind of like reaction to being in the machine all the time, and like it's like an allergy. I can't look at a shellfish without breaking out, and this is where you get more hints to his overeating as well. It's
Yeah, he gets a bowl of soup, like a pork loin, a rack of ribs. It's like, Jesus, man. Like, it's no mystery why you're fat. It's, some people are like, they got thyroid issues or whatever, or they're just eating unhealthy food. But just like overeating like this, it's like, it's not, I mean, dude, like
it kind of seems to be a good way to get some exposition out as well, but by having this fat guy stuff his face.
if you've ever eaten to the point of throwing up, you're a fatty. All right, stop that.
And he's kind of filling a lot bit of more information on how it works as well, using like body energies, that kind of stuff. It's kind of complex stuff, but it's not. It's to let us know that this thing could really be dangerous. I mean, there's a lot of loopholes in this machine that could be used against the good of people, to put it simple.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is we realize even though the machine, the chairman has said, I don't want you guys using this machine anymore. It's dangerous. It doesn't solve the problem of Dr. Shima. He's still stuck in this like dream coma, and it's not even his dream. They're trying to figure out, basically some terrorist has stolen the DC Mini and is terrorizing this guy.
And
holding
he's
him
finding a
hostage
way to
somehow.
do it without the machine. He's finding a way to do it without the machine. It's like, it's crazy. I mean, it's this is where you do kind of got to ignore a little bit of logic, because I mean,
well, basically anyone who's used the machine before is for some reason not safe.
So it's like a part of the machine stays with them in their mind, making some kind of transmission from the enemy to manipulate them. It's that's the only logic I can come with it. But this is a film that kind of works without logic, without too much logic anyway. From what I've gathered from it. But yes, now we learn that dreams can be implanted in people's heads, and they can merge with dreams. It's and it does make their situation a bit more desperate as well. They've really got to find this guy.
Yeah, and again, this is our next Paprika scene where we see that Dr. Chiba, she goes into the dreams as per alter ego Paprika to kind of get to the bottom of it. But yeah, again, this is where
Yeah,
what's his name?
Himuro just kind of tears up and it's like he's not even remembering now. He's remembering as this different thing because once again, when you're in the dream, you roll with it. Every insane thing just becomes logical to you anyway. It's,
yeah, and another thing, I guess the main thing Paprika's here to do is also to try to wake up Dr. Chiba. Basically, give him a push, or whatever it's
the only
called,
way
like fucking Inception.
It's kind of like when you jump. It's like when you dream where you fall and then you hit the ground, you wake up. It's
well, what
so
she does is like give him like some extremely like sexual kind of dream.
Yeah,
it's not
she
like
kind of goes inside of him and just explodes him.
it's all
like,
metaphorically sexual, but yeah, I mean, definitely like a good sex dream could wake you up too. You know, that's always the worst time to wake up too. You're like, damn it, I was right in the middle of that. But that's the thing is like those sex dreams wake you up.
Always my fucking alarm goes off all the time, right when I'm come on. Have a nice little time with Scarlett Johansson there. Alarm clock fucking ruins it. Once again, I just love the use. I love how these animes animate skies. They just, I don't know how they do it. It's like they use a specific kind of fucking blue to really make the skies pop.
It really, it's like a perfect day, you know. It always looks great. It's the kind of world it's kind of day you want to experience, you know.
Inside Man's hair popped out. Apparently, he's got a call, so he could be work. So who knows if he comes back? You know, we'll let him back in, obviously, but who knows? He's a busy man. He's got work to do. So once again, I love these animes when they light up the fucking city. I'm always impressed by it. And yeah, Dr. Shiba's back.
Yeah, he's like he could have died. You could have died if you had stayed there any longer. You're like, we had to get you out.
I know he's only just starting to get his fucking sanity back a little bit as well because he's walking up from the dream. He's very disorientated. It's and now
she's basically saying that
that's it. Yes, was it?
The chairman's going to ban the use, and he's like, he can't. There's not one of the chairmans. All the board members have to be there.
It's looking, and it's looking like he's going to do it without him anyway. And even though he's very sure that they can't do the board meeting without Dr. Shiba.
Yeah. He talks to. This is also where we established that Dr. Shiba is talking to that detective. He's like friends with him or something, and that's why he's given him that secret treatment.
He introduced him, didn't he? And he's obviously got a bit of a thing for Paprika. So yeah, he's not only just getting a nice little therapy session. He gets to talk to this very, very lovely girl.
Well, that's what he says. Nice she's literally the woman of his dreams.
Yeah, no, it's like they're kind of put on the nose, but we do get a little bit more into Chiba here as well, and we found out that she's kind of been getting into all these people's dreams, but she's not been having any of theirs.
But this is also what's interesting is Paprika, her alter ego. She has like fantasies or internal thoughts where Paprika has like discussions with her.
Yeah, and it's like a persona is kind of bleeding into her a little bit more. It's kind of almost taking over a tiny bit there,
or like separating anyway. It's like it's like you would think you think that Chiba's just driving Paprika. It's not like that at all. They're like two separate entities. It's very
both
weird.
The same, but it's like they don't really. She doesn't really take control of her anyway. It's kind of just like a personality just sort of coming alive, and she's starting to see her a little bit. Because, like you said, it's like if you're in the machine, then you kind of almost got this automatic like bit of energy in you that makes you vulnerable to getting hacked, and the Paprika character could be kind of becoming aware in a way. It's but like I said, it's very complex, and even you're saying that you're still figuring this out, even though you've watched it like thousands of times.
Oh yeah, it's one. You notice you catch new things every time you watch this movie, just like Perfect Blue.
And the thing is, you kind of do think this is a homicide case that is bothering him, but and he seems to have convinced himself of that as well. It's is it? And they just got confused with his memories.
Yeah. Also, what's interesting is this detective case is like never solved. It's not really important.
So this was a real case then, and somehow it's blended in with his a movie that he never made.
Yeah, it's affecting he thinks like this case is what's bothering him and why he's having these weird dreams and getting anxiety because he keeps dreaming about it. But really, yeah, like you said, it's a metaphor for his like younger days when he was wanted to be in movies and make movies, and he let down his buddy, who was like his the James Franco to his Seth Rogen, you know.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
just
yeah.
like the two of them, they actually stopped talking and stuff.
Yeah. Back when Seth Rogen actually was a little bit funny before he turned all fucking libtard.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you don't like him or think his movies are funny or whatever. Like, you can't deny like him and James Franco were two buddies making movies together a lot.
I like Pineapple Express. I still do. I still like Superbad. I still like Knocked Up. It's just the latest stuff now. And back then they relied on just making you laugh, and having and they felt like real guys as well. They felt like guys you could fucking hang out with in those movies. And sad we aren't getting that now. But yeah, this is where he's now. So he hasn't actually got the number, or is this still the dream?
Website. It's like Paprika. Paprika gave him this card. If you ever want to talk to me, go into this internet chat room, which is also very, what better place to meet her? Again, this movie is also about living online, terminally online. This movie talks about those kind of themes, and again, it's like it's kind of like not really a date, but just kind of like a counseling room,
I know, what perfect way to have counselling, but with booze. Fucking hell, I'd love to go to therapy if I got to sit in a room with a very cute little fucking fake woman with a nice glass of scotch.
Yeah, she says the internet and dreams are similar because they're both areas where the repressed conscious mind vents. It's like, that's
and obviously he does seem to want to, get to the bottom of why he is what he's doing, but at the same time, he wants to be with this lass. He wants to spend time with her because she does kind of calm him. She does bring a lot of warmth, and I think he's almost a little bit becoming a little bit addicted to it.
Yeah, he basically says that he's there mostly to find out if there's any update on his dreams. Because like I said, he's being bothered by that case, and he asks her if she works for the department. And I don't think
he gives that look as well, and it's sort of, and the look kind of holds for a while before he says, "Have you found anything?" I was like, I really like that as well. I mean, they're giving these characters having these characters give certain looks without having to say anything. Give you a little hint of what they're thinking.
Drinking and watching movies. No, I don't like movies. He says movies don't interest me.
I love them. I know.
Yeah, and then she just walks out. Put it on my tab, she says, and then they go out again. Another scene transition, or I guess not really matching scene transition, but he walks outside, and all of a sudden he's in this big movie theater
all over the place, and
these are all like kind of references to the movies that we were getting flashed earlier that he was kind of dreaming about. You've got like a Tarzan movie. And,
it's like a big man space, but it's turned into a street. And I almost thought that was Roman Holiday then for a second. Is that Roman? Yeah, it is Roman Holiday.
Roman Holiday. Yeah. A circus movie also. The greatest show. It's the greatest show on earth. Tarzan. Yeah, they're all real movies.
And you can see how nervous he is as well, because he knows she's gonna find out what it is that's making him nervous, and it's kind of a silly thing for him to get a little bit touchy about, though. But
I don't like movies. Obviously, when someone's like, "I don't fucking like movies," all right, it's like, okay, what happened? What movie hurt you? Like what?
Yeah.
What experience at a movie theater did you have? It's like when people are afraid of dogs. It's like, okay, well, you were obviously bitten by a dog as a child. What happened? That's one of those things.
I got bitten by a dog. I've got a big fucking dog at home. She likes playing, and this is where we've got two more victims to their minds getting probed by this dream machine.
Two more dream scientists are going through what Dr. Shima had. And they end up going on we don't really see what happened other than they broke a bunch of property and were probably detained somehow. But this is where the chairman makes the call.
Like, we're cutting it down. We are cutting it down. We are stopping it right away.
Don't care about the board members. I don't give a shit about any of that. We're forbidding it. Science is nothing but a piece of trash before a profound dream, is what he says. It's like right here where you're like, if you're actually like I said, if you're Mr. Mystery Guy, it's like, okay, well, obviously he's the bad guy. Obviously he's the big bad. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But even if it isn't, it's still great. It still makes sense thematically, He's basically saying that the technology isn't right. And I mean, I still think he thinks that, like he's
Yeah, I
not
think
like lying.
yeah, because I kind of got the idea that he decides to take control of all the dreams, so the bad guys don't get it, because he feels he's morally obligated to be the fucking savior of it all. But he ends up kind of getting corrupted by it himself. He has his disability that kind of makes him a little bit bitter. He still yearns for the days when he can walk again, and you see
Yeah.
that later in the end.
He's like got this twisted idea that he must protect everyone's dreams from the influence of the dream therapy. Like he does think the dream machine is bad. So he's one of these guys. I'm going to use the dream machine to make sure the dream machine can't tamper with people's dreams anymore. It's a twisted logic, but his motivation is pretty clear.
And this is where Takita decides to try and make a new one, because he's kind of like Rain Man with this sort of stuff. He just sees all this stuff and he can put it all together in his mind on what he needs to use. And
he's also got this like kind of he's a slob. He's got a big messy
Yeah.
office full of crap. Says this stuff is non-recyclable.
All these geniuses are, though. They are not very the most social. They are socially normal in a way. They're just kind of they are very peculiar. They're very eccentric.
So all you autists in the chat, just remember, you guys are geniuses. No, but she asked, what the hell is this picture on your shirt? I saw that in Hiromu's dream, the amusement park, and he tells her where this amusement park is, and of course it's exactly as it was in the dream, but it's all grown over and crappy.
And this is where Himuro just falls down. And for a minute, I thought it was like a dream again. And Tokito was the doll, because Himuro almost has the same facial features as Tokito here.
But see, another cue that they're not dreaming is the colors. Even though they're more saturated, there definitely is like more shadows, and it's not as vivid. Like anytime we're in a dream world, like the colors are dialed up to 100.
Yeah, I mean, look, he looks like Takito. It does. He does look like Takito a little bit.
Yeah, just another fat and less fat, more ugly, nerd, both of these guys, they're probably not good guys with the ladies. But yeah, out of nowhere, she sees the doll. She goes up to it just like in the dream, hops over the railing just like she did. And before she could get to it, Hiromu jumps from some platform and crashes through a window, and you think he's dead. But what's interesting is he has like a DC Mini like embedded in his skull.
And they're all like crawling around in his head, aren't they? They're like little worms swimming. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, that's I think that was one of the things that I did complain about, because you haven't really it doesn't really come back again, though, does it? They're just like little things that clip onto the handle and retracts again.
Yeah, basically they find out Himuro is like he's like a shell. He's a
he's a patsy. That's it.
Yeah,
he's a patsy. He's like the red herring, like you said. And this is where the dream scientists are getting shipped off to the ambulances because they've gone crazy. And Kawasawa is trying to wonder what the fuck is going on here. And they've got all these. Himuro's got all these implants in his head, and they're just taking it out and putting it down.
So we're finding more people going crazy on the.
And he's trying to defend it as well. It's like it's not the DC Mini itself. It's just a little incomplete, and he's kind of wondering why would Himuro do this. He knew this stuff as well.
Somebody like implanted that in his head, and they're trying to figure out what is the point of that. And also, this is the first time detective guy sees Shiba, and it's very obvious that he's realizing he's like blushing. But this is Paprika.
And I love this. Yeah, I love this. I mean, you can really see the optimism, the naivety as well. He's like, we thought of this thing together, where we could share your friend's dream. And once again, he's the optimistic scientist who's got this crazy idea, but it's like what Jeff Goldblum said. You've spent all this time figuring out that you could, but you never stopped to wonder if you should. Once again, he doesn't think of the consequences, but it's
Oh, also, yeah, the detective's like kind of playing dumb, like he's hearing about the DC Mini for the first time. He's like, "Oh, a device that's used to understand people's dreams, huh? That's a nifty concept, huh?" And he
Yeah,
like
'cause
looks over.
he's not supposed to know about this, is he? Really? And
No. That's what Dr. Sheba keeps telling him. Like, this is extremely experimental. Don't tell anybody. Uh, yeah,
oh
yeah. No,
yeah,
we
I
were
see.
talking about
Oh yeah.
that Paprika earlier.
No, wait a
We
minute,
hadn't seen it.
wait a minute, Stupenzo. Let me read this, okay? Because I've just got sent £20 New Zealand dollars. So yeah, if you all haven't searched up Paprika and Deborah Caragoli and then pause the stream for a few minutes break for contemplation, then I suspect you must be Democrat voters. Chuck Norris would be disappointed.
Yeah, we definitely were talking about that. I saw that earlier, and it's like, yeah, definitely a foxy lady on that time. Is it a movie about cooking? That'd be cool if it was. But yeah, hot
lady
ladies.
cooking, preferably naked. So, yes.
But yeah, detective. I love he looks at her. He's like eyeballing her.
Yes.
Like you should be looking at a fat guy if you're talking to him. It's rude to be staring at me.
Yeah, and I love this. And so Sheba and Dr. Sheba and Kawakawa have actually been friends since college as well. They just both did different things, and I love this little speech Sheba does as well. It's like I really wish I could go back to the college days, back when we had a little bit more, optimism, hope, and it just triggers him as well because he had the same thing as well, and it's really fucking haunted him ever since. Because Dr. Sheba has basically achieved his dream of pursuing science and technology and all that, and Kurosawa has become a cop, something he never expected to actually be in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, it's one of those things.
Again. Isn't it wonderful? That line, isn't it wonderful? It comes back again a couple of times.
This is one of those movies, unfortunately, where like the English dub is like vastly different from the Japanese subtitles.
Yeah, I know. It's like, because I watched it in both the English and the Japanese. The English the English dub I had on DVD when I watched this morning, and then later I watched it again and in the Japanese dub, and it is not too far off from each other. It's just kind of worded a little differently. That's it.
Yeah. Watch it in English with the subtitles on. It'll melt your brain. It's like, let's go.
Yeah, I was a caretaker for mentally disabled. There was one guy, couldn't speak, barely function, period, could stack a river rocks like 4 feet high with bigger rocks on top of smaller ones. Oh, it was nuts.
Yeah.
But you get that, though. You get these crazy geniuses who know all these fucking things. They can work these chemistries together, build all this stuff. But but other times they're just a bit weird. It's like it could be some kind of severe autism. Who knows? I try not to assume too much about it, to be honest. Because I don't want to offend anyone for saying the wrong thing.
Well, the chairman, he's always in earshot. But yeah, they're talking about.
He is like a villain, just fucking popping out of nowhere, isn't he?
This is more confirmation that he's the bad guy right here.
Oh yeah, he's an evil Professor X. He really is. I mean,
they're talking about. That's funny. They're talking about how, like, first of all, the detective thinks it's an accident, and even if it was, like, how do you prosecute someone on a dream? And then they're talking about fat guy, how it's he's basically he's very interesting fella. Seems like he's very smart, but yeah, he's a man child, basically a boy trapped in a man's body. And the chairman comes out and says,
breakdown, doesn't it? It's like it's kind of not bothered him this much for years, but yeah, it's really starting to hit home a lot more now. It's and he doesn't seem to, and he's kind of wondering why. But he's still thinking this is like some really horrible case that has traumatized him, but it's definitely not that. And I like this film for it. I liked it. It was a nice change from the usual, traumatized cop who was a little bit psychotic from all the shit he's seen over the years. It really did make a nice change of pace, and I admire this movie for that.
But you see why he decided he's having to get this secret dream therapy, because he's like having panic attacks all the time over nonsense. But what about the rest of it? Yeah, that's like the line.
There's like 2 DC minis out there, and yet the only lead is Himuro because he's kind of the patsy. So it's like the logical thing they can take. But then Ansire is Morio is is trying to talk her against it because we we don't know he's a fucking backstabber just yet.
Well, this is like where we start to see it because he's basically jealous that she's taking fat guy. She kind of prefers going on the mission with fat guy. And she's like, obviously, desperate times call for desperate misters. And she says, look, like there's like you're not, you think you're better than the guy because you're fat, but if like, is there anyone else that could possibly do this besides the fat guy? Like, no, you're not qualified, basically, and that really is a blow to his ego. But also, she, like I said before, she's got a secret kind of crush on him. They have kind of a under
but
the radar romance.
With, Morio here as well, like saying, he's genius, but he's still kind of immature. He's not weighing up the consequences of what's happening. He's still seeing it the way a child does, and and this is where she does kind of like call him out on it, though. And this is brilliant as well. He's like, he's overweight, he's fucking awkward, but he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant.
But seriously, how many 1,000 calories a day does he have to eat to get to like?
Fucking hell. Yeah,
maybe he's one of those guys. This is what happens. He's one of these guys where he works all day and night, and then he eats like 10,000 calories right before bed, and then he eats another like 5,000 calories for breakfast. You do that for a year or two, you'll get this fat for sure.
And yet she's kind of right as well. I mean, even though Morio's kind of just saying it as for his own agenda, he can't help but agree with him. There is some truth in it, though. But I think this does kind of wake him up a little bit as well. Oh yeah, the pictures of him cut out. So yeah, once again, another hint of the animosity that Himuro has towards Takita. It's over the years.
Also, like not just cutting his head out, but like perfectly like stenciling it out.
Yeah, no, that is fucking madman as well. And he's got the doll with the fucking dart in the head.
But interesting is like how I guess like it's Himuro's dream that he's a big robot boy, but like later when he does go in the dream world, like he does like Himuro wills his physical form into being. But then again, I guess it's actually the chairman's dream when you think about it. It's actually the chairman that actually has this animosity towards Taquito, and I don't know. He's like projecting it. He probably I'm assuming Himuro like joined the chairman willingly, kind of thing, because they both probably have this animosity towards this guy. One's jealousy, and the other one is he's tampering with people's dreams. He's doing stuff. He's playing God. He's basically Dr. Hammond. Imagine if Dr. Hammond from Jurassic Park was Richard Hammond from Jurassic Park was John Hammond. Imagine if he was like a weird man baby, It'd be like, I don't think he
was in the book in a way. Like he was kind of the villain, but in the movie they made him a bit more just a scientist who was very optimistic, but then he realized he caused some bad consequences. It's kind of like Dr. Frankenstein, and not the Hammer version, who loved fucking killing people to make his own creation. But
Jamma, I hang out with hippies, man. I know what rock stacking is, dude. Yeah, I've seen it. It's crazy.
Yeah, but he does seem to take account into what she's saying as well, because he still has to find out if him or is actually responsible or knows what might be happening, and he's actually is willing to try and talk to Himuro and bring him back and try and bury the hatchet with him, be friends again.
Yeah, I think also Chiba and goddamn it, Taquito, is that his name? No, Takita. They do have like I think they've already been romantic before, and this is kind of the vibe that it was like maybe she's got the walls up, like we should do it was a mistake.
I know. And she's a very good character as well. I mean, she's not exactly like the best laugh as well, but she's got a conscience, and you need someone like that. And she's because she knows how bad this can go, and she doesn't want this to happen. She doesn't want innocent people getting hurt because of something that she's been part of.
What's interesting is they're saying, basically everything that's happening right now is proving the chairman was right, that this technology is dangerous, but it's the chairman who's doing it all. So if he, so what, I don't know, but it's a matter of when, not if, whether it's, during
she uses that term again, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? It just pops up, it's all over the place. And to be honest, I've only just realized it while this stream has been on. I don't know why. The last couple of times I was watching it, I didn't pick it up. Here I have done.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to. God, his place
Yeah,
is a
she's right.
swamp.
If you want to be the king of the geeks with your bloated ego, then just keep all this and indulge in your freakish masturbation.
But again, yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about when you used escapism too much. This is what she tells him. Like, you and Himaru are very similar. You just get preoccupied into what you want to do, that you kind of lose sight of what you have to do. Your irresponsibility is going to cost lives. But yeah, like the point is, you want to just goof off and play video games all day, or watch movies all day, or just be online all day, and your actual responsibilities usually take a back seat, and it's never good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, now she's going to try and speak to Kawasawa as well, and yeah, she takes off the heels. She goes run. She's now Paprika again, and this is where we see the dream sequence play out again. This time the colours are a little bit more weird as well. There's a lot more greens on the master. The reds
Yeah,
are
monochromatic. Yeah, this shot is all blue for some reason now, and then
yeah,
the shot with them all running is green.
Yeah, it's all like filtered now, isn't it? It's all greener and redder. It's yeah, so it's obviously letting us know that this is another dream that's reoccurring now and then.
Again, yeah, we're in the dream world, and the colors are so much more vivid all of a sudden. But yeah, this is where we're gonna go on the different floors and see the different movies.
Yeah,
and floor number
I
17.
love that when I love that when they go into some people's mind and they go into a subconscious through like a hallway. Like there's one part of your subconscious where you open the door to, and another with another door. I love it when it's all elaborated like that. I mean, it's all created like that. Yeah, but this is where we start to learn about his so-called trauma and why he's starting to have these nervous breakdowns, and it's very endearing. It just makes you like this guy even more. He's not a brooding badass, mysterious badass. He's just a normal guy trying to do his job, and right now he's unable to. He's got this emotional, mental baggage, and I kind of like that. He's vulnerable, but he's not. He never comes across as weak when doing it, which I thought was very well executed. Because when you see a guy who constantly needs assurance now in moves, it's done to a point where they come off as weak and helpless, and it never is with this one.
Yeah, and this time though, we see that Paprika's kind of in the theater, kind of watching this as a scene play out. But we get this kind of analyzation of what's happening in the dream, where he kind of realizes like he's the gunman.
Myself. Yeah,
and then he's also the victim. And he's starting to realize that the dream right now is not about the case. The case of the murder that he's trying to solve is kind of irrelevant. He's realizing that it's something more internal that's giving him his issues, which is good. Like I said, like we never find out what's going on with the case because, like I said, it doesn't matter.
I know, because it's irrelevant. I mean, the therapy he's going through is what he needs to achieve to solve the case, and we're just watching him achieve through that so he can get back on track. And we don't need to see the murder get solved anyway, because that's not what this film is about.
Yeah. So anyway, Takeda's gonna basically secretly go into Himio's dream.
Yeah, because he does want to talk to him as well. I think he does feel a little bit bad for why Himio is there in the first place, and he knows Himio could be innocent in this, because my friend is we had a falling out, but my friend to do something like this, come on, he couldn't, right. He really couldn't. So he's still sticking by his friend here, even despite all the animosity he has towards him, which is kind of fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he goes into his dream and realizes pretty quickly that
it's very surreal. All those creepy dolls and everything. I mean, they got those weird eyes, and it just freaked me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and like for some reason he's in this robot form that we already saw earlier in Himaru's closet.
It's like what you said. Someone else's dream is interrupting in his. It's starting to merge in his and take over, and very soon it happens with his. And this is where he finds out it's not Himio that's part of this. And this is the last you see of him as well after he finds out. It's
meanwhile, like I said, detective is still having his little dream consultation right now with Paprika in the movie theater. And he's dressed as Kira
Yeah, he's like got
Kurosawa.
that hat on and everything. He's got the turtleneck on. It's like,
And he's giving film lessons in the middle of the dream. And like she says, it's obvious that you really like movies. Like you're over here telling me the other day, movies don't interest you. You don't like them, like passionately don't like them.
Yeah,
clearly you love movies.
He's not getting too defensive now, is he? He's kind of being a bit more open up about it. Is any other film would have him like open up right at the end as some final reveal, but no, it's just halfway through, and it's kind of a very natural development towards this guy. And yeah, it's very adorable. He made he made some film that he just didn't get a chance to finish, and it's haunted him ever since. And you see him when he's all young and everything. It's but now before he gets a chance to actually tell her what's happening, the fucking dreams just start invading.
They get interrupted by the big dream parade.
Yeah, you always need dancing frogs in dreams. I don't know why. You must have dancing frogs. It kind of reminds me of some Beatles surreal acid trip kind of music video vibe going on.
Yeah, I mean, just every frame, you just look in the background and it's just like, what the hell, dude? This is so cool.
Yeah, the animators must have had a fucking hard time getting this done unless they use CGI, which probably was a little easier. But
no, yeah, they definitely use CG to animate everything individually. But yeah, all these characters had to be designed and drawn out and stuff.
Yeah. Hello, Atom. How you doing, man?
Yo.
So yeah, and obviously Taketo is now gone insane. You know, he's using all these like food metaphors and everything. You know, 5% fat milk, and it's what the hell, man.
Paprika's milk cannons.
Yeah, and she's trying to get him, and she gets covered in all this. Is it fat? Is it fucking something anyway? But it's gross. It's like, what the hell, man?
I don't know.
Even Kurosawa kind of goes back to his middle-aged cop look, and he's trying to dance with these dolls, and he's only just realised what the fuck he's doing. So now Sheba knows about the dreams morphing, and they're both trapped in the dreams, but they're not dreaming. It's like they're deeper in self-conscious somewhere.
Yeah, so basically now Takeda is like being absorbed by the dream that is absorbed Himaru, whatever, Jesus. Now they need Paprika again. Paprika's got to go in and get the boys out, like we saw earlier.
Chris Nolan definitely did not have this. This did not inspire Christopher Nolan to make Inception at all.
No, I mean, you can see where. I mean, obviously, I know you're being sarcastic, but Chris Nolan did like a industrial espionage movie, where this is more of like a mystery, like film detective kind of story.
Yeah, and I still like Inception. I do, even though the dialogue is a little bit robotic, but the actors still do a good job of what they're trying to do. Anyway, the action is very good, and I like the fact that they still used a lot of practical effects in the rotating hallway where where Joseph Gordon-Levitt is fighting one of those dream bodyguards. It's still a fucking cool scene to watch, and I still admire it.
Yeah, there was something I read about this. This little her floating down on the clouds dressed like this is like a reference to some other like anime or video game or something. What was it?
She's kind of going into his subconscious dream, so it could make a little bit sense to why she is dressed like that, because he's one of those guys that like his video games as well as him, when he's not inventing stuff and eating.
Oh yeah, it's when Paprika enters Takeda's dream, she surfs the sky on a cloud dressed as a warrior. Could be an Easter egg referring Son Goku and Kinton Cloud. I don't know what the hell that is. Chinese mythical figures. I don't know. This movie, everything in this movie is intentional. It's weird.
Yeah, no, it's like you miss one. It's like it's full of details, and like I said, I've only watched this like 3 or 4 times, and there probably is still more details that I've missed. And it's the Monkey King. Yeah.
There's a Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah. I got a headache if I'm remembering that correctly.
That's who it is. But again, it's like every one of these characters is like, why'd you go with that? Like, what is what? why just giant Buddhist statues next to giant samurais, next to giant Statue of Liberties, and just confetti, all the confetti. That's something that would have been a pain in the ass to do if it was hand drawn. So that's definitely computer.
No, but it's still very cool. I mean, visually, it's visually impressive. I mean, there's they don't waste any shots. There's not one frame that's wasted.
Dude, yeah, we talk about the tight 90 a lot. This is like one of the tightest 90s ever. There's so much going on in this 90 minutes.
It's an hour and a half. I mean, it's
this
packs a lot in.
yeah.
It packs a lot in, but it never feels convoluted. You can sort of make sense of it, but still have enough questions to ask. And it's despite it being a bit batshit, it is still very fun to watch. I still had some enjoyment.
Yeah, and Inception literally lifted this shot like right out of this movie, walking through the broken mirror reality. Junkyard of the subconscious.
Yeah, that is a very good name for that. That is a very good name. I will not deny that. So
Dude,
going to these, it's like it's almost like everything's like overgrown now, isn't it? It's like
that tinsel animated. Like I assume it's CG, but it looks amazing. It looks like real. Yeah. It looks like they just filmed tinsel and superimposed it on the film, and it doesn't look weird or out of place. It's very insane.
Yeah, anime can really balance the CGI and the hand-drawn stuff really well when they need so. And more Taquita dolls, and it's almost like a mess of subconscious, like Adam Gray just mentioned. It's just inconsistent stuff from the self-conscious, just all shoved in and not being utilized properly. All the dolls, everything. It's
also we get like kind of a second, not a red herring, but like more like a pink herring where. We realize that handsome doctor is involved in it, and he's probably Mario. The big bag, but he's actually not. He's the assistant. Yeah, he's like the big bag.
It's kind of like it's kind of weird where he's merged with the councilman in the dreams, like he's giving his body up to be part of the chairman. And once again she becomes this little fairy, and this is when she starts to realize.
I was calling her a dream fairy, not even thinking of this scene later. But and then we've got. Pan's Labyrinth, obviously, borrowing from this.
Yeah, and I love this. Himio's like a shell of his former self, because that's what it looks like. Just this. Yeah, let me get to the shot anyway. But I think
Pan's Labyrinth came out the same year as this, so that's actually kind of twisted and weird that they're both so similar.
I think it might have come out. A year later in England.
They're both 2006.
Yeah, well, that's some films that got delayed and released the same year, even though it was released. But release dates are always well informed when I look them up.
Paprika figures out that it's the chairman and Dr. O, whatever his name is.
His first name Morio. I'm just going to call him Morio because
Morio,
so it's easier to remember. She wakes up. She wakes up, and then they've got to get down to the chairman and confront him about this whole mess.
Yeah, him and Dr. Shiba.
Yeah, and we think it's Shiba as well. I mean, it did confuse me a little bit though as well, but I realized she's still in the dream.
Yeah, this is your classic double nightmare going on right now. Yeah, and again, a big clue is how bright the colors are right now.
Yeah, it's like a taco inside a taco mixed with a burrito. That South Park episode. Fucking hell.
Yeah, and this is such a great
the villain revealed. Bum, bum, bum. And like we said, he thinks he's some savior guardian, he's the only person that can keep all this safe, but it's already corrupting him because he already has his desires to walk again, and he's indulging in that right now, isn't he?
Well, you find out he stands up and walks across the room, and then we reveal that he doesn't even use legs. He's got these like tree trunk tentacles, like tree roots or something.
And Dr. Shiba is Mario, and they got it.
And Dr. Cheetah, or whatever her name is she's
back to the real world. Well, back to the real world, and Shiba is really trying to fucking awake, but it's no use right now because they seem to have got her on a deeper level where she can't wake up. Yeah, and I love this thing with the Sphinx as well, and he becomes Oedipus, and she kind of throws it back in his face as well, saying it suits you.
Yeah.
Yeah, to go back to the, it's like, and once again, it's like
Little Mermaid.
inconsistent fucking surreal visuals because, it's dreams, isn't it? Dreams are very inconsistent. They're very fucking weird. They aren't very logical.
Yummy.
And once again, we've seen that the dream being in control of all the dreams has corrupted him now, and it's he's getting some kind of dopamine hit just using it himself. Is the very thing he's been railing against. And now she's a doll as well. She's like a puppet on the string in a way.
Yeah.
And more surreal imagery and fucking hell, man. It's just you just cannot help but look at it. I mean, even if there was no plot, you would just you just can't take your fucking eyes off all the madness that's going on. Yeah, rest in peace, Satoshi Kon. Thanks, Adam. Yeah.
So basically, Paprika gets captured,
Mm.
like a little butterfly on the pins.
Yeah, and all the butterflies. It's not just one butterfly now. There's a whole fucking mass of them. It's and now, this is where it does get a little bit more creepy adult now and then, not kid friendly, because she's all tied up and bondaged, and Mario is kind of confesses that he's in love with her, and he's obviously been fantasizing her a lot as well. And I love how she sort of twists the knife into him a little bit as well. She kind of calls him out like he's sold his body to the DC Mini, didn't you? And he seems real upset about it. He seems to be very regretful about it, even very angry about it. But at the same time, he's not trying to redeem himself either. He's like, he's willing to go through with whatever badness he's put himself in.
Yeah, the butterfly basically represents it represents it's like a first sign. It's a transition between reality and dream, like when it comes out of the cocoon, the metamorphosis. The butterflies represent lucidity, like being awake.
Yeah. I know. We found out that they were always saying that the DC, the mini DC was not complete, but they found out no, it was. They can invade people's dreams now, even when they're awake. It's not just a theory anymore. They've managed to somehow find a way here, if I've heard them correctly.
Yeah, and then when he does this amazing scene, this animation's really good, of ripping her out of her cocoon, basically.
Because he prefers her that way because he's worked with her that way most of the time, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, she's basically devolved. She's out of she's no longer. She's basically ripped from her lucidity, and she sheds Paprika. Now she's like a pupa-like stage. She's naked and naked, clothless, and no wings.
I love that line as well, saying dreams can't be controlled. And it's like, that's a bit rich coming from a guy controlled by jealousy. Because even he's admitted that whenever he's around her, he's always felt a bit powerless about how, brilliant she is. And once again, it never comes across as a woke trope. It's like, because she is still flawed. She's a very serious woman. She's not always a fun girl to be around. She's only doing this whole bubbly thing as part of a persona to make sure her patients feel very comfortable and open around her.
Yeah. It's like a reference to the philosopher who dreamt he was a butterfly. When he wakes up, he wonders if he's a butterfly dreaming. He's a human. It's like the fly.
Oh, Randy Marsh, where he goes, I'm a beautiful butterfly. I don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I'm only joking here, but I do appreciate that sentiment to that line you just said there.
But also, before he does the whole rip scene, there's that boob touch he does. He rubs her boob, and the way it's animated, it's like, God, these Japanese dudes are such perverts. Paying such attention to boob physics.
Yeah, Inside Man has just let me know that work has got in the way right now, so he's going to have to drop out. Yeah, no problem, man. That is no problem. Fucking hell, you're working on some movie, good or shit, you still need to fucking pay the rent, man. So, it's no problem. I mean, come on. YouTube is more like a hobby that just gets me a little bit of revenue occasionally now. That's it. So, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, it's like you said before, if you're living your life around YouTube, I mean, it's gonna fuck up. You got to find something else to do as well outside of YouTube. So
Yeah, like the big theme from this movie is escapism. You can't escape to escapism all the time. They talk about that too in Inception, like living those guys that just live in the dream world nonstop,
Yeah.
It's not good.
Have you ever read the Red Dwarf audiobooks, Better Than Life, where they expand on that episode and they've been in the dream machine for so long that when they finally come out of it, their muscles are fucking weak and they're all frail because they haven't eaten anything or drank anything for a long time.
No.
Oh, read it. It's on YouTube now with Chris Barry doing the narration, and he does a fucking great job. It's the first book is kind of really, really close to what happens in the first series, but it ends on Better Than Life. Only it's completely different. Like Lister is living with Chikansky in the same town that was filmed in for It's a Wonderful Life, and Rimmer is a millionaire, and he's got this woman who fucking hates him because it's Rimmer. Of course, even when he's in something that's made for him, he somehow manages to fuck it up. But yeah, I'm getting off track. Sorry, but yeah, I'll send you the link for it. It's a real good listen because I know you like to listen to a lot of stuff while you're busy. So.
All right.
So now we're back to Kurosawa, and he's waiting for Paprika as well. And I love this little line where he's like, "If I'm drunk in a dream, then it's okay because it's not going to fuck me up in real life." And this is where you do find out about his regret as well, and why the number 17 matters to him so much, and
the conspiratorial number 17, which is weird because that whole QAnon thing is based entirely around the number 17 as well. But this was that was after this movie. Weird. What else is weird about the number 17? What makes it conspiratorial? I never looked that up. Hang on. Yeah. But if I Google it, it's just going to pull up QAnon nonsense.
Yeah, it probably is then.
Let's see. Hang on. Because that was one of those.
Might be our best shot. I mean,
conspiratorial.
Well, you have a look at that. I will go through this scene. But yeah, this is the scene where he reveals he made a movie with his friend and he never got to complete it. And even though his friend was accepted in film school, he got sick and died, and it's haunted him ever since. All because
which is crazy because Satoshi Kon, right after this movie, got sick and died and did not finish his next film, Dream Machine.
Yeah, oh man, that is a fucking tragic coincidence.
How the fuck does he know? It's like he knew that was going to happen almost.
Yeah, I mean, you can have cancer for a good while as well. You can fight it for a long while. I mean, what did he die of anyway? Was it cancer?
Pancreatic cancer, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you can be off it for a while, but then it can always come back. I mean, was he like in a remission for a while, but then it came back?
I have no idea. It's possible.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little short movie where he's chasing this criminal played by his friend, and you can tell he
realizes he's not chasing this victim from his murder case in his dreams. He's actually trying to chase his buddy.
Yeah, and then he had these little flashbacks to their childhood, and which is a nice little experimental thing. It's a nice little short movie that fills in a lot of character exposition straight away. I would love to see that short movie in its full. I've not seen it on the DVD as an extra, sadly, but yeah, I love how he talks about his friend. Like he was the one who, like he almost wanted to hate his friend because he was popular at school. He got the girls, but he was such a nice guy. He couldn't help but like him, and he was always kind to him as well. So once again, just makes you like this character. He's a very likable guy. I mean, damn, I'd happily watch a solo film about this guy. He's so fucking. He's got a charm to him.
Yeah. All around good dude.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we've rattled on about this scene enough, and we do get a little bit more, and and then he comes out, and this is when he realizes that Paprika's in trouble because he sees the movie poster, and I don't know how that's happened in the real world.
Yeah,
but,
this is how the dreams are all connecting. Like the dream world is merging, and then that's kind of where we get like a good false climax where. The idea is like we're in the dreams, all of our dreams are merging, and we're going to stop the bad guy in the dream world. But that's, like I said, this is like the false climax where we get the other final action scene after this. But yeah, this whole scene, like I said, where she sheds her outer skin is just so graphic and weird and
I know, it's like
strange.
I'm really fucking glad that I've not seen any porn parodies of this F so far anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be weird, some fucking person getting off to a person actually putting his hand right inside of a woman and ripping her skin off its to reveal another person inside. That would be, yeah. There's some weird shit on the fucking internet. There's weird shit. I can tell why some people got to NoFap now. But or at least try to give up porn anyway. But yeah, it looks like he's and yeah, we do get a nice little news scene that I've had to be a bit fucking careful of, and careful. I don't want to get fucking flagged. And this found out where the chairman is really merging inside of him, and he's like interrupting his dream, and he's like, no, I'm trying to get kinky, and you're fucking ruining it.
Yeah, and again, it's like just a lot of references to like, the ego and the shadow and all this Jungian stuff. Like your personality, your dream persona versus your life persona.
And it's almost and it's like so he probably isn't a really bad guy, but isn't a dream now. So it's kind of nothing matters. Morality doesn't matter to him. It's no, actually, no, he is a bad guy because he has chosen to fucking affiliate himself with the chairman. He's even kind of like trying to stop the chairman from dominating him, but he seems to be in a position where he can't. The chairman seems to have the upper hand here. He seems to have all the power.
Yeah.
And Kiwakawa just fucking comes in. Oh, careful. Let's hope I don't get flagged there.
You won't get flagged. I think it's okay with like cartoons and stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. It really is.
But yeah,
this is where he gets,
he's gonna get to save the day. But also, like, why the doctor and the chairman have like merged into one being? It's like you said, like he's I don't know, man. He's like trying to take over the younger guy. I don't know. He wants to like use him as a vessel.
Yeah, maybe there's just something that he signed up for where the chairman ends up being the dominant force that controls Moriarty. It's I don't know, but we see Dr. Shiba is obviously trying to get to sleep as well so he can get inside and help her, but it's no use. He's too anxious. He's too wired. He's too stressed. It's like, when you're fucking stressed, you cannot dream if you got shit going around in your head. Yeah,
like the two of them are basically battling for control, because he's like in love with her, the young guy, and are obsessed with her. I don't know if love is the right word, but
so he's still doing this communication with the monkey, which hearing in Japanese always made me laugh for some reason. I don't know why. What's going on? I'll explain later. Just go. So they obviously got to get the fuck out of Dream Dodge, and they're swinging around, blah blah blah. And,
it's funny because that monkey actually does look like the doctor. The way he's animated.
He does have a very simian look face to him, and now Kurokawa's dreams is starting to merge here a little bit as well because Morio's in there playing the guy, fucking garroting him, and I think this is a reference to From Russia with Love because the only thing I can think of where someone is getting garroted inside of a train, it was From Russia with Love with James Bond and Red.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking anyway. So and this is where he fucking goes to run for it. He tries to chase him once again. He's like seeing the case or the case of the film anyway. No, it is the case, sorry. Yeah, and it looks like he's getting real cocky as well. He's running off. And where's the rest of it pops up, but no, he finally grows some balls and fucking takes him down.
Yeah, shoots him in the dream, which like in Inception, like ends up having it kills him in real life.
Well. Yeah, it's got this shot where it pans out. It's the sun is glaring out the back. He's almost a little bit silhouetted. He's holding the girl. It's got a real cool 80s fucking vibe to it as well. It's
city pop.
Yeah, and everyone's fucking clapping. Even his the dream version of his friend as well. And I was like, wait a minute, was Sheba trying to kiss fucking Chiba here and got slapped for it?
Yeah. feels real when he gets shot in the spine. That's what he says. And then, of course, yeah, like an apparition of him shows up in here and fades away. It's freaky.
I know.
This is where we start to see the first sign of spillage, where the dreams are starting to spill into the real world.
Yeah, I know, and I was kind of wondering how the fuck does that work logical wise, but yeah, this is Japanese, ignore fucking logic, you kind of got
it's like in Weird Science, where you thought in the 80s that computers could like make a woman, or
yeah. Sometimes you gotta sort of suspend your belief a little bit, like there is something in the technology where it's starting to spill into the real world a little bit. But I think with any other film, it probably would come across ridiculous. But the Japanese have a very broad sense of exaggerating their animation, aren't they, and their logic, especially in anime.
Also, this is interesting. Like when he dies in the real world, like were these two like in bed together? Like that's kind of an interesting twist that they don't really expand upon. But yeah, just
so yeah. Or was it a dream within a dream? That's the thing. Was it a dream within a dream? It's
so he starts to he dies in real life, falls to the ground, and then there just becomes a big sinkhole that absorbs both of them.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to where it's bleeding in a dream, because I did see a video analysing this, and it probably is making a point that the too much dream is now consuming the real world. It's like deteriorating the real world from people, which you can do if you overindulge. So yeah, maybe it is playing on that.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, when I was watching this, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I mean, because things are really fucking yeah. It's a man fuck, and the chairman is obviously getting out of control now. He's he's really fucking he's
like
losing.
These two. This is like I said, we thought we had like our false climax earlier when we found out who the bad guy was, and they come out of the real world, and okay, well let's go arrest the bad guy or whatever, and then all of a sudden, giant baby doll, pyramid, and all the parade stuff in real life. Like this detective, he's thinking like, that was another. I figured out my issues with my dream problems, and he turns around to like be, kind of hokey and funny, and then I think he just sees this giant thing happening outside his window and realizes, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah, and everyone's gone fucking nuts now. It's like invaded all the subconscious, and they're all in some kind of their own little dreams, and very collective, a very mesh dream anyway, because they're thinking of the same idea, aren't they? They're just
seems to be localized to like the general area, like the city they're in. Whereas, like, imagine like us living in other countries, like seeing this on the news, like, like somewhere in Tokyo, there is some insane stuff happening. You got the weather girl. You got people that are literally like, not only are they speaking the gibberish, but they turn into like creepy dream characters, and you got people flinging themselves over buildings. You've got these upskirt shot people. I don't know what's going on, dude. It's just so like homeless encampment type thing going on.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was watching this on the news, I'd think, that's Japan, all right. They're just fucking weird.
Change the channel.
Yeah. It's like what Randy Marsh says about the Japanese. It's like, the Japanese aren't normal, son.
They aren't.
Yeah, very soon. As soon as they start killing the cow and chickens, then it's like, now they're normal. But once again, there's just a lot of fucking crazy shit, and I love these waiters just coming out willing to help Kawasawa, and so now they've got to find the chairman and really put a stop to what the fuck is happening. And that doll is fucking creepy. I mean, damn man, that's pure nightmare fuel. Dr. Shiba's almost looks like he's about to fall after the floor gives away, and then Paprika just pops out. It's not Shiba playing Paprika; it's Paprika herself now. She's become
and what she say? No time to decide. No time to explain why I'm here. Just let's go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like that fucking BBC Doctor Who skit for comic relief where Rowan Atkinson is Doctor Who, and everyone's asking, "How did he achieve that?" And he goes, "I'll explain later."
But I mean,
it's very funny. They say it a lot as well. I'll explain later, because very funny skit, and it really does capture the spirit of the old Doctor Who's while still being very, very funny. Yeah, so they're just fucking, they're just doing whatever they like here with the logic now. They're jumping into TVs. It's like somehow Paprika knows the shortcut to the chairman. So yeah, just jump through the TV, out through the fucking cameras. And I did notice, I didn't get the shot, but I noticed that Dr. Shiba was struggling to get out the camera a little bit, which did make me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, basically the chairman, his whole goal is to inflict the entire world with his dreams. He wants to project his dreams into the real world. Also, like in his dream world, like he's like this great entity of physical strength, even though in reality he's a frail old man, disabled. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and this is like the dream world crashing into reality like violently. It's just such a trip. It's weird. It's and also the dream, like I said, like you said earlier, it's just very like childlike dream. It's a very weird, but yeah, forcing
And it's
itself.
like, and I was wondering, was Takita subconsciously helping, because he is still rambling these weird sort of like food metaphors, isn't he? It's like and I love how Chiba is willing to go back and try and help Takita, and Paprika's like, no, leave that guy. He's we've got other things to do, and yeah, she just loves this guy so much. To see him just turn into this fucking nutcase. It's
well, he also says like earlier, like when he was saying like, is it like an allergy? And it kind of is like an allergy because the way it's like spreading and infecting other people nearby, it's like a virus or something.
Yeah, and I love this little point as well. I mean, you say I'm a part of you. Have you ever thought that you're a part of me?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like maybe it started off as a persona, but it's Paprika actually becoming the person. It's like Bruce Wayne when he's Batman. As he is Batman, the real guy, and Bruce Wayne is the real mask. It's because of how obsessed he is with his job. It's a nice little contrast to his duality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tries to control everything. It's just like an old baldy nose. And Shiba kind of rubs his head as well. He's thinking, well, they're talking to me. You get some very funny moments that you kind of miss. And I like that. He's not saying funny lines. He's funny by the way he reacts to things. And I love how Paprika is actually very kind of in admiration of Chiba, willing to try and talk Takita back into reality again.
Yeah.
And it's a very touching moment, yeah.
Yeah, he I mean, he's trying to, what is he? He eats her, right?
Yeah, he eats her as well.
Yeah.
He's like, a bit bland. I need something more spicier. And it's going to be Paprika. Come on, it's a pun. It's a pun, isn't it?
Then she turns into like a ghost.
I know. And then
I mean, just saying the shit out loud. It's like,
yeah, we're not on drugs. We're just talking about the film.
Yeah, the film's on drugs. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is she actually has Dr. What's her name? Atsuko. She has like these, she actually has this desires of Tokita. Like she represses her feelings for him,
Yeah, because
she reconciles that she actually is in love with the guy.
Yeah, she's a grown up. So yeah, and he's still a kid.
Right. Yeah, it's a good part. It kind of,
we'll get to it soon because I do want to talk about it. I'm not gonna lie, it did choke me up a little bit, but yeah, and it's kind of the chairman's kind of made this big fucking void of nothingness now. Is like it's just consumed it all. It's getting bigger as well, and it's like, what should we do? Run? Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, but he's found Paprika, and thankfully the barmen fucking help out. It's like, yeah, I like those barmen. They're awesome. But yeah, this is where Chiba comes up to him, and she does this really fucking lovely moment where she talks him back, and he's back in the lift, and he's stuck, and she's pulling him out, and yeah, he kind of breaks down. He has this very emotional, vulnerable moment as well. Where
but you realize like this happened in the past, like I said, you realize like these two kind of had like a
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, so this was a flashback, then.
they
Okay,
kind of
okay.
they
So
kind
I
of
thought it was
have
just like
they've
I just
had
thought it
a
was like she
thing,
was
and
kind of a dream.
she's like, repressing it, wanting to not, embrace it. And yeah, I think it's one of those things where she's, like I said, she's kind of come to terms with it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, to think full disposal like you was the genius of the century, and it's like I swallow everything. I know you're so much fun, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really fucking sweet. I mean, it is a nice little. It really does add a bit of contrast to the much more murky, perfect blue, where it's just really where you just feel sorry for this poor woman and all the shit she's going through. But these people are very charming. They're very charming characters, and I think even if you're confused by what the fuck is happening, I mean, there's enough heart in there. There's real heart.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we've got the chairman showing up as a giant, Godzilla
Yeah,
creature or something.
he's gone fucking crazy now. I mean, whatever his fucking goal was now, it's gone right out the window. He has lost his fucking mind.
But it's
He's
awesome how easy he's like taken down by baby doctor, ghost baby doctor.
Yeah, she kind of grew up. Yeah, and then the more she sucks in, she becomes bigger. It's like it's like a way to go, Lord of Darkness, and light and dark, reality.
She like absorbs all these dreams and matures into a woman before our eyes. It's
yeah. Then you got the missing spice. Yeah, Paprika. So she goes in and turns into a big fucking ghost, cheaper Paprika, and starts sucking everything and becomes more grown up. It's absolutely batshit weird, and I don't know why this is happening, but fuck it, you roll with it a little bit here.
Yeah, really crazy visuals.
Yeah, so Satoshi Kon, he looks like he was having fun just designing all this stuff, because I've seen footage of him as well with all the storyboards.
It's always about
candy shop.
Yeah, creatively breaking convention, just taking your imagination to 11,
Yeah. Oh, careful, YouTube.
Oh yeah, like a 150, no, like 1,000-foot tall naked woman,
I should be more careful there. But hey, you got for the lads, you got a nice 1 second of animated tits. Don't say I don't deliver. And it's all over now. It's fucking hell. It's one crazy film. It's all over. Now Takito has woke up and he's like, I had this lovely dream, and she just has this smile and says, so did I. The first in a long time, and I want to eat these two up. I know. And it's like it looks like they are getting together now, and Kiwakawa doesn't feel too bad about it. It's like, I guess you're being dumped. It's like, I'm not too bitter, but Paprika is the woman in your dreams, and if that's true, I'll see you in my dreams again someday.
Yeah, I mean, she's basically
it's like a good little final moment between these two as well, after all the fucking carnage that's gone, and you don't know it's probably him imagining in this, or just or maybe a little bit of the dream is still seeped into his subconscious a tiny bit here, but you see his friend come by, say, you didn't do anything. You finished the film by actually living it in real life. That's why you became a cop.
Yeah.
And once again, it's fucking sweet. It warms your fucking heart. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting a little bit of teary-eyed.
And also him and her and what's it, the doctor and Paprika kind of becoming more merged in the end, like being less separated. And going to see you find out going to visit Paprika one last time in the server room, and finding out that what's her name is gonna marry Takia, and also recommending to go see the movie Dreaming Kids.
He's already caught the perpetrator as well. So that's kind of been done, and so he's got a little bit of
it's totally handled off screen. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's it was just his day-to-day job.
Because usually when we get this as well, it feels like a cheat, but it's not relevant to the story. We're just focusing on what's causing him to prevent him from doing his job. That's the main focus.
Yeah,
you know,
the reason why. Yeah, once he figured out what was going on with his dreams and his anxiety, once he figured out the source, he realized like that was the roadblock from preventing him from solving the case. And so obviously solving the case just comes naturally after.
So Asuka is the first name of Chiba. For fuck's sake, man.
Chiba.
I was kept calling it Chiba, and I was like, Asuka, what's
I'm looking at the
yeah, because Asuka's kind of like the surnames are always go first.
Shiba's easier to remember, honestly.
Yeah.
I just keep looking back to IMDb to remembering everyone's names. Shit.
I know, man. And all the references to Satoshi Kon, including Dream Kids, which
so his next movie was going to be called Dreaming Machine, not Dream Machine. Like and apparently, from what I read, is like it was supposed to all be dreams. Like the entire movie was supposed to be a series of dream sequences, which sounds wild.
And the movie ends, and
it ends with him going to the movies. It ends with him like going for a little bit of escapism. Again, at Paprika's suggestion.
No, and it's a very charming movie. It's like this could still be a kids' movie. I know it probably might mean losing a little bit of the nudity, maybe some of the. I mean, even the violence isn't that bad. I mean, a couple of blood splats. Come on, you can still get a PG-13 out of that. I mean, Indiana Jones had a couple of blood splats in the original movie. So, yeah, I mean, because it's not really as sordid as Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue, I can tell why that is R-rated because it is very sleazy in places. But Paprika, it's just more light-hearted.
Yeah, and it's like we've got all these different layers. You've got the movie, you've got dreams, you've got reality. It's there's movies within the movie, there's dreams within the dreams. It's all meant to just make the experience more worthwhile.
I know. I mean, I think Captain Grace mentioned that Satoshi Kon's goodbye video is very sad. Satoshi Kon goodbye video. Let's have a look. See if I can find it and share the screen.
There was also that. He also did that great short film. His actual last movie was like a minute-long short film about waking up, what it feels like to wake up in the morning. That was really good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot though of but I don't know if it's Satoshi Kon's video. I'm looking for ones that came out in 2010, but or before that anyway. But I'm not finding anything. Ooh, let's have a look. Satoshi Kon saying goodbye. Let's have a look.
It's pretty, but also very the movies kind of got these anti-technology vibes. Like I don't think Satoshi Kon would have been cool with the Elon Musk implants or whatever. And like maybe we'll get something like this happening for real once enough people get the what's it called, Interlink or whatever.
Yeah. And that is but it's got because I've watched a few footages of Satoshi Kon, and he does seem like a very guy who knows what he's doing. I think he was supposed to adapt a book once, and he said I would do it faithful if I wanted, but it's not my style. And so he seems to have a particular style, and it's kind of like Sergio Leone. He only really made a few movies, but they are all worth watching. Even
What else I said that like something else I said that was interesting that you think about, it's like the two guys that were like the anti-technology dudes, they're the ones that end up trying to abuse the technology for their own means, so it just says something about like projection or whatever.
Well, it's kind of like how an activist ends up being just as fucking tyrannical and evil, mean-spirited as the very people they claim to be going against. So.
Dreams inside a dream.
Yeah, but do you think it's kind of like Perfect Blue, where you could watch this 1,000 times and still?
I feel like if we talked about this movie a year from today, we'd have very, we'd have different takes on it and just, talk about totally different things easily for another 2 hours. It's just, there's a lot going on with Freud, and like they say specifically Oedipus, and he's very Jungian. There's all kinds of takeaways. It's one of these movies where, like, yeah, you'd have 100 people watch it, and 100 people take a different 100 different ideas of what the movie's trying to say.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of easier to watch than Perfect Blue as well, because because it's more disorienting as well. Perfect Blue, because you're kind of in the mindset of Mimi as well, aren't you? Because you don't know what day it is. I mean, when she doesn't know what day it is, you don't know what day it is. You know, when the days blending together to where for her, the days blending together for the audience.
Yeah, and it's hard to draw conclusions from this such a chaotic and complex movie, especially from like us humans who are used to the waking world. And that's the other thing that this movie does well, is dreams are not so simple. Dreams are weird, they're complex, like Inception. Hey, we're in the dream world, and it's like, yeah, but this is too reality based to be, your dreams are rarely this like linear, rarely this realistic. Your dreams are usually just a cloud of nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I know, because I mean, it's like it's always like some things, like a bit of furniture from the past just shows up randomly in a place where it shouldn't be. It's like something I've not seen in years, but somehow I can't. It kind of has a familiarity to it in a way. It's just something simple like that.
Yeah. Well, the big question that I've always had is, do dreams come from within or without? Our dreams are suppressed memory consolidations. Are they wish fulfillment? Are they do dreams come from our subconscious, or do dreams come from something outside of us? Like, another dimension that's projecting into our minds collectively. You ever learn something new in a dream? That's like evidence to suggest that dreams come from outside of our bodies somehow. Like we're tapping into the previous world that we came from. Dreams are they're part of our reality, but they exist separately from reality. And it's just very, very interesting stuff, and that's why it's extremely dangerous if the dream world were to become real, or if you were to be stuck inside a dream. Again, another good movie that's all about dreams is Waking Life. That's also animated. That movie's fantastic, but that movie's just like a series of philosophical conversations that many stoners have had. But yeah, I mean, this is I don't know, man. This is the movie that I don't see people like. I couldn't see someone not liking this movie, but if you didn't like the movie, you couldn't help but admit that, yeah, a lot of work and a lot of thought went into this. It's just a wild, wild ride. And
I don't think Satoshi Kon's half-assed on this at all. I mean, he hasn't just thrown in a lot of weird shit for the sake of throwing in weird shit. I mean, everything seems deliberate. It really does. It seems like it could be a little a bit of foreshadowing, or something that adds a little layer to the character. And you kind of got to watch it like maybe the 1,000th time to get what the fuck is happening. And it's like you said about Satoshi Kon. He likes to play on identities. As like sometimes what is real. Like personas, or repress parts of our personality.
Yeah, there's like I said with Satoshi Kon, there's like the you, and then there's the other you, that the private you, the secret you. That's like Chiba and Paprika. Like Paprika's bright and happy and optimistic, and Chiba's got dark hair, and she's very serious, and
she's a bit more paler as well. I've noticed that Paprika has a bit more complexion, doesn't she?
Yeah, she gets that vitamin D.
Yes.
But yeah, I get, they are one and the same, but there's just such a division between the two. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Paprika could be Chiba when she used to be. Until the job started to get a bit serious, life got a bit serious for her. Who knows? So I don't know, because she does seem to play the bubbly persona very well, even though she's kind of a very serious woman. And yeah, Nix, it is very good. Whenever I tried watching it, something came up, so I had to put it aside. To be honest, I forgot about it. That it's perfectly fine, mate. Do check it out. Anyway, I really hope we haven't spoiled it too much, because I think you just showed up not too long ago. So.
It's one of those, I don't know. I mean, even if you spoil it, it's one of those movies where you still got to see it, to believe it. Like us talking about it doesn't know justice, like I'm talking about, just watching this stuff. We're just going through freeze frame. So you're not going to get nearly, even if you knew, it's kind of good that you're going to go in having some, foresight as to what's happening plot wise, because then you can actually pay more attention to the insane visuals and like you said, the matching scene transitions, match cuts, the just the awesome directing and editing. It's
apparently the bartenders are actually voiced by Satoshi Ande,
the author of the book,
Sutsu, who wrote the novel. So, okay, that's a pretty nice little trivia there. I mean,
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So while trying to escape being captured, Paprika enters a room with numerous classical paintings by Ingres et al. On the theme of Oedipus and the Sphinx. The painting she enters is by Gustave Moreau, the original held as a Met in New York. Okay, that's it's okay. Nice little bit of trivia there, but I don't think it referenced the film.
You could watch this movie dubbed. That's not terrible, but I mean, obviously every nerd's gonna tell you subtitle only, but yeah. I would say, it's not bad to watch dubbed.
Yeah, so yeah, I think there's another. I mean, going back to Paprika was this god. When Paprika enters Tokita's dream, she surfs the sky on a cloud dressed as a warrior. This could be an Easter egg referring to Son Goku and Kinton Cloud, but the additional details of Paprika's crown and staff call to mind the Chinese mythical figure known as Sun Wukong or the Monkey King. Yes, so yeah, a bit of the Monkey King there as well. So it looks like we've established that one already, but there isn't really much in the trivia, though, to be honest. I mean, usually you really have to scroll down to get to a lot of, but it seems to be very, very minimal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, basic takeaway I have is escapism. Too much escapism is bad. You guys got to hang out with your friends IRL.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm gonna try and catch up with the friends by the end. My life friends, not by the end of the month, the ones that I don't stream with, and it should be a good little night. Anyway, it's like I still talk to them on Facebook Messenger. It's just a chance to go out and have a fucking drink at a pub with them. That's very rare these days. But I think it makes the experience more special because you're not just going out all the fucking time and getting bored of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about Paprika, or maybe just some final thoughts, and that's it.
I mean, there's probably lots to say about it still, but
there's just tons. I'll go first for the final thoughts, and if there's nothing else. But yeah, it's very surreal, but it's got charming. It's got a lot of heart, and nothing is wasted. It's really worth watching. It's visually impressive. It does not care how batshit insane it goes, but at the same time, the surrealism is deliberate. It's very deliberate. Yeah, the director has definitely the director definitely knows what he's doing. So yeah, check it out. And so final thoughts, Stupenzo.
Yeah, I mean the Grand Parade of Dreams. It's one of the best dream movies out there. Like I said, I like this one and Waking Life a lot, and a few others. But man, yeah, this movie's all about your ego, how you view yourself in the real world versus the dream world, who you are versus who you want to be. It's just a wild, awesome movie. And you kind of learn a little bit more about yourself every time you watch it. And it just doesn't get old either. I mean, it's one of those movies. Like I had no problem watching this for the 50th time again last night. Just putting it on and checking out.
I practically had to watch it a few times today just to try and catch anything I might have missed. There's probably still fucking loads that I've missed.
And I would say to Nick's, no, I don't think any Satoshi Kon movie would work as live action. The editing, first of all, this one is just, this would be a lot of crazy special effects. Now, to see someone pull some of these shots off in real life would be awesome. But like I said before, with animation, you can do the edits a lot faster. You can do them a lot faster. With live action, you have to slow things down a little bit for humans to process what the hell they're looking at.
Yeah, because, and this is the same applies even to Disney films as well. Because when you watch the animation of, the very first song at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast, all right, it's very lively. Every movements are very exaggerated, like it should be in an animation. And when you get to the live action, when it comes to the dance numbers, it looks very awkward. Everybody looks stiff, no matter how fast they try to move. And that's why what works in animation can never work as live action. And yet, I'm so glad Paprika hasn't been remade into a live action movie. I really am.
No, yeah, none of them. And because of the animation, like this movie, animated movies never age. This movie will hold up 50 years from now. Like you could show this movie to a kid in the year 2085, and it would still hit just as hard. You'd be like, "Whoa, this animation's insane." You'd have kids saying, like, "People actually drew this stuff like with their hands." Like, yep.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for the final thoughts. So, before we go, we probably will, we'll get the stuff that we've got upcoming at the moment. So, I've got before I get to Stupenzo on his upcoming stuff, I'll let you know what's happening. I've got a lot of my MCU videos coming up daily. I think next up is Thor: The Dark World, and after that, Captain America: Winter Soldier, and so on and so on. And I probably will try and get another video done for this week if I catch maybe a classic movie or a latest release, who knows? And obviously, with the Nielsen ratings on Tuesday 9:00 with the Outcast Creatives, and Thursday 7:00 my time, I'll be discussing the final episode of The Penguin with Lord Toxic and anyone else who wants to jump on to discuss it. And Friday, I have not got anything lined up just yet, though, but I will try and figure out what films to talk about.
Yes, some of your Marvel videos are popping off, though, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it fucking worked on months from it. I've had them the last few months. I've just been trying to get them together whenever I can, and it's been a good time as well to look them over and see if there's anything that might have needed re-recording or re-editing. It's there's been a few times where I've had to go back and do it, but I'm glad to finally get them out.
All right.
I know. So that's my upcoming stuff for now. What have you got next up, Stupenzo?
I think Sunday. I think I'm going to be back on Sammy's another news show, and then I'll do my show after Gooch's on around midnight my time. So that'll be fun. And join
in next. I'll send you the link if you want.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I guess this next Sunday. This Sunday is the last episode, so there'll probably be discussions to be had about it. I'm like on the fence. I like it, but it's like I just don't understand. Like, I got friends who are like, Joker 2 is the worst thing ever, and this show's like a gift of the gods. And I'm like, there's such a disconnect.
I do like it better, man. I really didn't like. I was kind of digging Joker 2 right up until the end, and it kind of made the first one pointless.
I think both Joker 2 and Penguin are pretty good. I wouldn't call them excellent. I wouldn't call them trash.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some lapse of logics that have bothered me a little bit and bothered Toxic in the show, but it's still very strong. And I am digging Christine Milioti as Sophia. She is
simp
doing a really fucking good job in this role. I mean, she's completely different to the character in the comics. She was a minor character, built like a tank, and they've really fleshed her out here, though. They've really done a good job at making her a very good, interesting psycho that you kind of that you really understand why she is the way she is.
Yeah. Well, I think this Wednesday the We Watch is going to be fucking a bad movie that we watched. Me and Dudicus watched Howling 5: The Rebirth, which was basically
the first one's good, but yeah, the sequel.
First one's good. The first one, okay, so check it out. There's a lot of Howling movies. The first one's good. The second one is schlock, nudity. The third one is weird. The fourth and fifth one are terrible. The sixth one is badass. The seventh is terrible. The eighth is terrible.
The fourth one, and yeah, the makeup looks fucking ridiculous on the fourth one. If that was the clip you showed me a while back,
I would love to do a video about all the Howling movies and just talk about them all at once.
Hey, do it, man! Do it! Fucking hell.
The Howling's like one of those franchises I grew up with, and yeah, some of them are bad, some of them are great. We're gonna be watching a bad one, and this one is Howling 5. It's basically the dinner party game, werewolf, but like for real. There's dinner guests. It's like Clue. People are getting murdered by a werewolf. Who's the werewolf? It's in a castle. And yeah, me and Dudicus had a fun time watching that garbage.
You know what? I've kind of got an idea. I might do something different next week. I won't do a movie. I will do a TV show. I might do Miami Vice, but I'll only do the first season just so, yeah, because I mean, there's like 20 fucking episodes in 5 seasons. I don't think I should do a stream on that right now.
I'm not even joking. I just recently started jamming, what's his name? Jan, the guy who did all the music to Miami Vice.
Jan Hammer.
Jan Hammer. I've been jamming the Miami Vice original music soundtrack. It's like, I want to say it's like 50 tracks or something, dude. And dude, Chubb's theme or Crockett's theme, I mean, is so awesome.
I love Crockett's theme. Yeah. I love it. I fucking love it, man.
It's so good.
From sat in the back garden with a beer, I will put that on and imagine I'm in fucking Miami right now. I'll even on a pair of fucking cream chinos, a fucking cream blazer, and a fucking pair of loafers with no socks while doing it. I don't care.
Even like listening to the music again is like, damn, I need to start rewatching Miami Vice. Because I was not happy with that movie. Even though there was a lot of hype, I was hyped for it. I was like, dude, it's gonna be badass. And we watched it. It was like, nah.
It's like the personalities of Sonny and Crockett would just fucking disappeared the moment Colin Farrell and
it was Miami Vice in the 2000s, and that's the problem. Yeah. It should have been 80s. It was a product of its time.
It was. I mean, the Miami Vice is a fucking 80s show. They were just indulging in everything that was.
But also, Miami Vice like basically defined the sound and look of the 80s. It also had so many great celebrity cameos and like movie grade action scenes every week. It was it was a new action movie every week on TV.
You know what? You gave me a fucking good idea, man. Send me the track to your covers, and I'll try and put a video intro to it for next Friday. And if you want to jump on, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Send you a track for what?
Yeah, the Jan Hammer covers. And I'll try and get some fucking clips for Series 1 of Miami together for the intro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
I want to do all that shit, man. Let Toxic know as well, because he's a Florida kid. He loves Miami Vice. I'll try and get Lance on there as well. Big fan. And anyone else who wants to jump on and just probably do, if it's fucking tons, probably top 5 episodes of Miami Vice.
See, I'd have to like rewatch the whole show. Miami Vice. It's been a while.
Well, the thing is, though, when you got the fucking sites, you can watch it on your laptop and do whatever work you need to do while it plays on. And it's
but isn't Miami Vice aren't there like a ton of episodes?
Yeah, probably is. So you might have to, if you just try and watch the episodes that you love or remember loving more. Anyway, you'd have to rewatch it if you don't want to. Just maybe rewatch the episodes that you love more if you want. Because,
yeah, exactly. Because in the 80s, like a season had 20 something episodes. There's like 5 seasons. So yeah, there's probably about 100 something episodes. Each episode's an hour. Like an hour without commercials.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like watching The Wire again. As well. It's basically like watching The Wire.
Yeah, I know. It's like a sun-kissed. Because even though it looked all very glamorous in 80s with the espadrilles and the fucking pastel suits, I mean, there was still a sleaziness to it, though. You still have fucking pimps and junkies and murderers and fucking...
They're just all wearing blazers,
Yeah, people they're trying to protect would die or the criminal would get let off because of fucking bureaucrats or the feds. need them for a fucking case they need, that stuff. The bad guys would win a lot in that show. And it would actually take its toll on the characters, especially in in the final of season 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will get to that soon. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Enzo, and
of course. Yeah, you
we'll
kind of
join-
hit me up the other day. I was doing my Orange Man Cometh stream, and you're like in the chat, like, oh, by the way, we're watching Paprika tomorrow. And I was like, oh shit. And I was thinking it was like 8 hours from then. And then I realized like, oh no, it's like 33 hours from now. Okay, I got some time. Good. But Paprika is one of those movies where if you told me like we're going live right now, I could be like, I can do it. I don't need to rewatch it. Let's go.
Yeah, you can't resist a good stream, man. You love being on there. Come on, admit it, man.
Yeah, I do. In fact,
you look like you always look like you're having a good fucking time. I mean, no matter what,
I am.
mate, no matter how long you go on for, man.
I'm having a great time. Exactly.
You're a fucking stream machine, you are, man.
No, I'm not nearly as much of a stream machine. Like, I mean, if I was invited to more streams, I would probably say no to a few of them. That's the other thing is like I'm not sometimes I'm not afraid to be like, honestly, not too well versed on this one. I can take a break, because like you said, you got to have time for the real world stuff. I can't be chronically online.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, we've got through the stream very fucking quickly. I mean, damn, I expect it to be a little bit longer, but it's like last time as well. I was pretty quick on
Terminator 2. We're gonna
okay.
also we also it's just me and you. I think if the rest of the crew were here, this would have been a 3-hour stream easily.
Yeah, I think Chris Cal as well, because he's got a very good. Yeah, I think he would have a very good.
That's kind of why I'm upset they weren't here, because I would like to hear.
Yeah,
I'm kind of upset they didn't make it, because I would have liked to hear some different opinions about the movie. Because like I said, you'd have 5 guys talk about 5 different ideas about what one scene.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
I might start doing something different as well. I mean, I want to try and maybe do my own little audio commentary where we will watch the films. I'll just do a recording. I won't do it live. I just.
Yeah, I tried to do that originally before I realized you can show. I realized what the We Watches were. Like the first We Watch technically I did was just a commentary video from Dusk Till Dawn, and it was like just testing the OBS.
Yeah, I think with me though, I'll probably just have like not show any footage, just have me and Toxic talk, and that's it. We have avatars talking, blah blah blah, like we're doing right here. And as soon as we get to the movie, I put the overlay over the footage. So it's, I'm still trying to figure this out a little bit though, because I want to do Get Shorty with Lord Toxic, because I still feel a bit bad that I didn't get a chance to have him on for the Bastards breakdowns a few months back.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think we'll end the stream there, man. Once again, thanks for fucking joining me, Stupenzo, and I'll put the link to your channel in the description. I should have done that earlier. But
don't worry. I mean, I'm easy to find. Unlike you, shit, I have to like. Type in your name, and it's like I have to look in my subscriptions to find you. And same thing with Twitter too.
Yeah, I mean, Lord Toxic, I have to actually put down consider the source, so it pops up easy, because there's a few channels that are very similarly named.
Yeah, I bet if I search Bastard Breakdowns, I'd find you easier than just looking up Northern English Bastard. Yeah,
probably will. Yeah, Mr. E, thanks for joining us, even though we're kind of like going off a little bit, but yeah, cheers for joining us anyway, Nix and Jama Lama and World War join Atom J.
No.
RTNZ, thanks for the super chat, Horseman and Lord Toxic, and Bush and Leaf Keen. And,
I'm gonna watch the other Paprika movie too right after this now. Because
I'll try and watch that later.
Yeah, I want to see what that's all about.
So yes, and whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and to ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support the channel, links will be in the description below. And for now, that's us done, and we are off to the pub.
Catchphrase. All right. Yeah, hell yeah. Get her done.